Imagine this. You walk into a room. Maybe it's an office meeting, maybe a group gathering, maybe just a casual conversation among colleagues. But something subtle happens. A few people suddenly straighten their posture. Someone closes their laptop. Another person stops joking and becomes a little more careful with their words. You didn't raise your voice. You didn't demand attention. You simply entered the room. And yet the atmosphere shifted. Most people assume respect looks obvious. They imagine applause, compliments, praise, admiration. But real respect rarely looks like that. Real respect is quiet. It appears in small behavioral changes that people don't even realize they're making. Psychology tells us that when people respect someone deeply, they often reveal it through subtle signals. Signals hidden in body language. Signals hidden in conversations. Signals hidden in how they behave when you're around. Today, we're going to explore 7 powerful signs people respect you more than they openly admit. Some of these signs are extremely subtle, but once you notice them, you'll start seeing them everywhere. Let's begin. Sign 1. People choose their words carefully. Have you ever noticed someone suddenly becoming more careful with their language around you? They pause before speaking. They rephrase sentences. They add disclaimers like, maybe I'm wrong, but no offense, just my opinion. This behavior is rarely random. When people respect someone, their brain activates a psychological mechanism called social caution. They don't want to appear careless or uninformed in front of someone they perceive as competent. Think about it. When we're with close friends, we speak casually. We joke. We interrupt each other. But when we're around someone we respect, our behavior changes. Our words become more precise. Our tone becomes more thoughtful. Not because we're afraid, but because we value the impression we leave. Respect makes people more intentional with their communication. So if you notice people carefully choosing their words around you, it may be a quiet sign they respect your presence. Sign 2. They ask for your opinion. Here's another interesting signal. People often ask for your opinion. Not once, but repeatedly. It might sound simple. Hey, what do you think about this? How would you handle this situation? What's your perspective? But underneath those questions lies something deeper. When someone consistently seeks your opinion, it means they believe your thoughts carry value. Your perspective influences their decisions. In psychology, this is called authority recognition. People naturally look toward individuals they respect when navigating uncertainty. That's why leaders are often asked the same question over and over again. What do you think? If people frequently seek your viewpoint, it means they see you as someone whose thinking deserves attention. And that's one of the clearest signs of respect. Sign 3. People watch your reactions. This sign is subtle, but incredibly powerful. During conversations, some people occasionally glance toward you. They observe your reaction. They watch how you respond to what's being said. At first glance, this might seem meaningless, but in social psychology, this behavior reveals something important. When a person respects someone in a group, they subconsciously use that person as a reference point. They want to see how you react before deciding how they should react themselves. Your facial expressions, your tone, your body language, all of these become social signals for the room. It's similar to how people observe leaders during tense moments. They want to know, is this serious? Is this acceptable? Should we laugh or stay quiet? If people regularly observe your reactions during conversations, your presence carries influence, and influence is a strong form of respect. Sign 4. People try to impress you. Have you ever noticed someone suddenly talking about their achievements around you? They mention their job, their success, their experiences. Sometimes it feels like they're highlighting their accomplishments out of nowhere. This behavior is rarely accidental. In social dynamics, people often try to raise their perceived status when they feel someone else's presence is strong. Your confidence creates a subtle psychological pressure, so their mind reacts by saying, let me show my value too. They talk about their career. They share stories about their successes. They emphasize their skills. They're not necessarily competing. Often, they're simply trying to position themselves as worthy of your respect as well. When people try to impress you, It often means they already respect you. Sign 5. People listen when you speak. In today's world, conversations are full of interruptions. Everyone wants to talk. Everyone wants to be heard. But something interesting happens when respect is present. People listen. They don't interrupt you. They allow you to finish your thoughts. Even if they disagree, they wait until you've completed your sentence. Why? Because respect creates attention. When someone respects your mind, they want to understand what you're saying. Your words carry weight. This is one of the strongest signals of silent respect. People who respect you don't just hear you. They listen carefully. Sign 6. They remember small details about you. Respect also appears in memory. Think about this. Have you ever mentioned something casually, only for someone to bring it up weeks later? Maybe you talked about a book, a goal, a personal interest, and surprisingly, they remembered. This happens because respect increases mental attention. When we respect someone, our brain becomes more attentive to their words. We remember details. We recall conversations. We pay attention to things others might overlook. This doesn't happen with everyone, but it often happens with people we admire. So when someone remembers small things about you, it can be a sign your presence matters more than you realize. Sign 7. They defend you when you're not there. The final sign might be the most powerful of all. Respect that exists behind your back. Anyone can act polite when you're present, but true respect shows itself when you're absent. Imagine someone criticizing you in a conversation, and another person speaks up. They say something like, "That's not really accurate. I've worked with him before. He's actually very good at what he does." This behavior is rare, because defending someone who isn't present requires courage. But when people genuinely respect you, they protect your reputation, not because they're obligated, but because they believe your character deserves it. And that is one of the strongest forms of respect anyone can earn. Respect doesn't always arrive with applause. It doesn't always appear in compliments or praise. Often, it reveals itself in quiet moments, in the way people adjust their behavior, in the way they listen, in the way they observe, in the way they remember, and sometimes, in the way they defend you when you're not there. If you recognize some of these signs in your life, there's a good chance people respect you more than they openly show. Because real respect isn't loud. It's subtle, it's psychological, and most of the time, it speaks without words.